The Minot Public School Board has chosen 4 finalists to interview to be the district's next superintendent. This week, we're going to introduce you to them. First off is Renae Rudolph. Rudolph was born and raised in the Magic City and attended Minot Public Schools and Minot State. She has a Master of Science in Educational Leadership from St. Cloud State and has principal licensures in North Dakota and Minnesota. Rudolph worked in education in South Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota before returning to Minot, where she joined MPS as an assistant principal and then principal at Perkett Elementary.
I have a genuine passion for kids and their learning. I'm a strong advocate for teachers. I know this district is great already, but if I would have the opportunity in an expanded role to make even a greater impact, collaborating with administrators, teachers, families, communities to make it even a greater district, I would welcome and honor that opportunity.
Rudolph says she'll focus primarily on building relationships with the staff, addressing budget concerns, and getting ready to debut the new high school on Minot's North Hill. She says she has experience with expanding and adding on to schools at various levels throughout her career.
Transition and change, a lot of experience over my 30-plus years, and so I hope to bring that to the position.
Rudolph and the other candidates will be taking part in public focus group sessions and interviews next week, December 11th to the 14th, and the board is then expected to name a new superintendent shortly thereafter. Tomorrow, we'll introduce you to another one of the finalists being interviewed to be Minot Public Schools' next superintendent.